Let's look at some melodies. For the next several melodies, you can read both treble or bass. It doesn't matter which one, but remember to stay on the same one as you move from line to line. I encourage new people to read the clef that they're more comfortable with, and for returning and advanced students to read a clef that they're least comfortable with, so that you can expand and work on that. Now, if we look at our key signature, we've got one sharp. We know that that sharp is going to be on T, and we can count our way from that note, T, La, So, Fa, Mi, Re, to Do. We see that we start on Do. Now, how do we determine if this is in major or minor? Well, we look at our first note, Do. We look at our last note, also Do. Do we see any Fi or Si accidentals? We don't. And we notice that at the beginning, we've got Do, Mi, and So, outlining the major tonic triad. So this is clearly in a major key. And specifically, we can name the letter that Do is on. So we see that Do is on the letter G, the liner space for the letter G. And that tells us that this is in G major. It's G because this is the letter G. It's major because it's centering around Do, and Do is the tonic for major keys. If it were La, then it would be a minor key based on that same note. So here's G major. If you need to, take a moment, pause this video, and review the rest of the melody there. And in just a second, we're going to sing it together. Sing your major tonic triad. Do, mi, sol, mi, do, so, do. 1, 2, breathe, sing. Do, do, mi, sol, sol, fa, mi, sol, mi, fa, re, mi, re, mi, do, mi, fa, sol, la, sol, mi, fa, la, sol, mi, re, ti, do. So if you were like me, you wanted the end of the first line to go mi, re, and then on the second line to go to do. Sometimes music does exactly what we expect, and sometimes it subverts our expectations. So here we had a mi right before do. If you had trouble with that, rewind, go back, and do it one more time. Once you feel solid with it, then move on to the next one. Now, this one, automatically some things should jump out at you. What are some of the first things that you notice? There are accidentals here. Let's check our starting note. We can see that our starting note, based on the sharp ST in the key signature, tells us our solfege syllable for our first note is La. Now, La there, and if we count our way up, we can note that this is a C right here, solfege syllable C, and that this is Fi and this is C. Do we end on La as well? We do. We end on La. So clearly this is in minor. And specifically, it's in E minor because La is on E. Again, La determines that it's minor, and the letter determines which kind of minor, in this case, E minor. Let's take a moment and chant through this. And I want to point out that this is C, this is Fi, this is C. Once we get to here, we have that natural in parentheses. It's not required because it's a new measure, which is why it's in parentheses. But that natural is just reminding us that this is Fa again, because we sang Fi just so briefly before it. Okay, let's chant it. 1, 2, 3, chant. La, ti, do, ti, la, si, la, ti, do, la, mi, fa, mi, fi, si, la, mi, fa, re, mi, re, do, ti, la, ti, do, la, mi, fi, si, la, do, ti, la. So watch out for that. There's some big jumps in here. Mi, here we have a do to mi, sorry, a la to mi. We have do, la, mi here. Here we have a la, mi, fa, re. Watch out for that. And here we have a tonic triad just rearranged, do, la, mi. So watch out for those. If you need to, pause, rewind, review it on your own before we sing it together. La. We're going to sing la, do, mi up to high la because we do have a high la in this. La, do, mi, do, la. I'm going to do that again because I didn't really like the breath I took before I sang that. All of us, even me, have to monitor their breath every time. La, do, mi, do, la. The power of a good breath. Now, let's sing it. La, breathe, breathe, sing. La, ti, do, ti, la, si, la, ti. Do, la, mi, fa, mi, fi, si, la, mi, fa, re, do, ti, la, ti, do, la, mi, fi, si, la, do, ti, la. A sorrowful and moving melody. I think minor can be so very beautiful in its darkness and sadness. Watch out especially for measure 5. La, mi, fa, re. That's a tricky little spot there. Let's sing that. Sing that together. La, mi, fa, re. And let's sing measure 7 one more time. Do, la, mi. Do, la, mi, fi, si, la, do, ti, la. Nice. Let's move on. Now, is this one in major or is it in minor? Take a moment to look at the starting note. Take a moment to look at the ending note. See if there are any fi or si accidentals. And look to see if it outlines the major triad, do, mi, so, or the minor triad, la, do, mi. Do you have an answer? The answer is major. And specifically, it's the key of G major because the do is on G. Take a moment, pause the video if you need to, go through and look at the counting and chanting of this. We're going to chant the solfege in rhythm in just a moment. Pause if you need to review. All right, let's go. We're going to chant solfege in rhythm. Ready, go. Do, mi, so, fa, mi, re, do, ti. So, ti, re, ti, do, mi, so. I'm going to pause there. It's important to see these jumps here. So, ti, re, that's its own little triad built on so instead of do. So, ti, re. And I should point out that it's also a major triad. It's a major chord. So you'll notice some similarities between that and the tonic one. Start here again. So, ti, re, ti, do, mi, so. Second line. Fa, la, fa, mi, do, so. La, so, mi, do, ti, la, ti, so, do. Now, let's sing it. Sing your tonic triad. Do, mi, do, so, do. Ready and go. Do, mi, so, fa, mi, re, do, ti. So, ti, re, ti, do, mi, so. Fa, la, fa, mi, do, so, la, so, mi, do, ti, la, ti, so, do. That is a great melody there, and I think you should repeat it several times until you feel rock solid on that one. There's so much great stuff to learn in that melody. Once you've done that and you feel comfortable with it, you can sing it all the way correctly, then let's move on. Is this in major or minor? What does it start on? What does it end on? What accidentals are there? And what does it center around and outline? The major triad of do, mi, so, or the minor triad of la, do, mi? Take a moment and look at it. And your answer is minor, specifically E minor, because the la is on E. So do you have do in your head from the previous one? Can you sing do? Now can you sing do, ti, la? Do, ti, la. So take a moment and look through this one. It's mostly straightforward, but there is a little bit of a trap somewhere in there. See if you can find it. Try to hear the notes in your head. Take just another moment to look through it. I think there's two pretty tricky spots. One here is the mi to ti. La, do, mi, ti. A lot of people might miss that. And this here, la, re, ti, si, mi. Which sounds super cool, but it might be a little tricky to sing. Re, ti, si, mi, fi, si, la. Sing that. Re, ti, si, mi, fi, si, la. Practice again if you need to. Once you're ready, unpause and let's sing. La, do, mi. Ready, go. La, do, mi, ti, do, re, do, ti, la, si, la, mi, la, ti, la, si. Mi, do, la, ti, do, re, do, ti, la, si, la, re, ti, si, mi, fi, si, la. Good. So go through and repeat that again if you need to. And if you need to, even change the speed of it to where you go as slow as you need to go in order to get it correct.